Once upon a time, during World War I, there was a very big battle called the Battle of the Somme. It started on July 1st, 1916, and went on for 141 days, until November 18th, 1916. This battle happened in France, near a river called the Somme. The two main sides fighting were the British and French soldiers against the German soldiers. They were fighting over a very important piece of land. The British and French wanted to push the Germans out and take over that area. On the first day of the battle, the British soldiers thought they had a good plan. They bombed the German positions a lot, thinking it would destroy the German defenses. Then, they sent their soldiers to walk across no man's land, the empty space between the two armies' trenches. But the Germans had strong defenses and machine guns ready. Sadly, many British soldiers were killed or hurt on that first day. As the days went on, both sides fought very hard. The British and French tried many times to break through the German lines, and sometimes they did gain a little ground. They used new weapons like tanks for the first time. The Germans fought back just as hard, and they didn't want to give up the land they had. By November, the weather was getting cold and wet, making the battlefield muddy and hard to fight on. The British and French had managed to push the Germans back a few miles, but not as much as they hoped. In the end, over 1 million soldiers from both sides were killed or injured, but there was no clear winner. Both sides were very tired and had lost many men. After the Battle of the Somme ended, the soldiers on both sides were very tired and sad because they had lost many friends. The land was full of mud, holes from bombs, and broken trees. It was a very hard place to live and fight. Even though the battle did not have a clear winner, the British and French soldiers kept trying to push the Germans back. They used the lessons they learned from the Battle of the Somme to plan better attacks in the future. As time went on, other battles happened. The British and French armies got new soldiers and more supplies. They also got help from soldiers from other countries, like the United States. These new soldiers helped make the British and French armies stronger. The German soldiers were also getting tired and running out of supplies. They had been fighting for a long time and had lost many soldiers too. Their leaders realized that they could not keep fighting forever. Finally, in November 1918, 2 years after the Battle of the Somme, the war came to an end. The Germans agreed to stop fighting and signed an agreement called the armistice. This meant that the war was over and the soldiers could go home. The end of the war brought peace to Europe, but many places were destroyed and needed to be rebuilt. People remembered the bravery of the soldiers who fought in battles like the Somme, and they hoped that such a terrible war would never happen again. So even though the Battle of the Somme did not have a clear winner, it was an important part of World War I. It helped the British and French armies become stronger and taught them how to fight better. In the end, these lessons helped them win the war and bring peace to the world. And that's the story of the Battle of the Somme.